Hey, how you doing? I am reviewing today a film called The Warrior's Way. It came out like a week or two ago, and I am here to review it. Now, what we have here is a film starring Jang Dong-gun. He is a South Korean action star. Kate Bosworth. Jeffrey Rush also stars Tony Cox. You may remember him. He's the Black Dwarf and all those horrible, horrible spoof movies. Lung Tai as the saddest flute. And Danny Huston as the Colonel. You may remember him as young Stryker from the Wolverine movie. He is back playing another asshole. You know, he needs to play a wisecracking dad sometime in the future, you know. Give, you know, kooky advice and then, I don't know, do something really romantic. I don't know, just may want to explore your options there, Danny. And the film is directed by Sung-woo Lee. And I'm not familiar with any of his work in the past. Now, basically what goes on here is a Korean warrior, Yang, played by Gun. He is like the youngest, finest warrior out of his clan, the Saddest Flute clan. And he is on a mission to kill the last remaining members of the rival clan, and he does so very quickly. Matter of fact, he does it so quickly you see it in between edits, and like, oh, they're dead? Well, okay, that's great. And then afterwards, all he has to do is kill the last remaining member, and it's a baby. And he takes one look at her, and looks at her, and she smiles at him, and shit, I can't kill the baby. After all this, I can't do it. I've killed like men and women, probably children. I can't kill this one baby because she smiled at me. Fuck. Now, where could this story go, you may wonder? I don't know. Do you think he's going to take the baby and run off while his clan chases him down? I don't know. Let's take a look. Yes, that does happen. He does head off. He takes the baby and heads off faster than you can say Haikiba to the New World, America, where he did have a friend who eventually did run off and got settled in the New World, so he decides to join him. Unfortunately, once he gets there, he gets to a real rundown ghost town, which apparently was a circus town? I don't know. And it's a shithole. And the people he gets there, the people are pretty much run down. It's apparently an old circus town that just seen better days, and there's barely any real buildings standing. And, he realizes that his friend had died, and he had a business he had a laundry business, so he takes it over because, boy, these dirty people sure love their laundry. So he joins up with actually he had been training this young girl named Lynn, played by Kate Bosworth, and they start the business up again. And Jeffrey Rush is also there. He is he's basically the town drunk. And he's drunk in just about every scene, and also hilarious. He also has a bad habit of showing up drunk at the wrong times, too. Anyway, he does his best to keep a lid on, you know, the fact that he's a super warrior. Tony Cox, who is 8-Ball, he is I guess he was sort of the ringmaster of the show. He's a little dwarf in a tux with 8 written on the top of his head. I guess he kind of runs the town. The town had been destroyed by bandits, led by a colonel, played by Danny Huston, and they look like kind of refugees from the Civil War. Matter of fact, there's such a hodgepodge. Their outfits kind of make me think that some of them are Confederate, some of them are Union. They just like said, screw it, and let's just kill and rape. And that's kind of what they do. They seem to be pretty good at it. They had destroyed that town years earlier, and they had killed Lynn's family just before the colonel had a chance to rape her. She had grabbed some hot water and splashed in his face and burned his face, so he is now wearing a sort of Phantom of the Opera kind of mask, making him look a little creepier. Now, meanwhile, the Saddest Flute is taking his clan and searching America, trying to find their lost warrior. You know, you'd think, after seeing a whole bunch of movies that do this, you'd think, like, you know, the evil clan or mob or whatever would go, you know what, let them take the baby. You know, Why do we take all our best guys, get them all killed for one fucking baby that might not even know what is going on, and when the baby eventually grows up? Maybe it may be just less trouble just to let it go. But no, as usual, they go after. And they have no idea in this big country where Yan had gone. Meanwhile, he is, planting a garden, trying to kind of get used to being retirement and actually living for a change. And he kind of sets a new spark up in the town, where they're thinking, hey, maybe we can perform for no one again. Because, desert towns and that are circuses do well. But, yeah, he's got a new spark. It's the baby, and, he's kind of got this sort of romance going on with Lynn, where he's, meanwhile, training her how to fight, and, of course, she expels her backstory to him. Now, they're attacked again by the Colonel. He comes back, and that sets off a whole new chain of events. He has no choice but to, release his sword from being, I guess, welded or something like that. And he goes in and, helps fight the bandits. This sends, I guess, the saddest flute's spidey sense off, and he is able to track him down from, I guess, you hear one little ting 800 miles away. You can, track that. So they're coming. So what we have here is sort of a three-way battle that we're building up to between these renegade soldiers, cowboy guys, the Korean ninjas, and clowns. Yes. Circus folk, cowboys, and ninjas are fighting. Now, you think that would be super cool, exciting, but the problem is the film doesn't pay off enough on these promises that they give us. The battles seem to be so cut. I mean, it seems like somebody went through them with a katana sword. And I don't know, it's just, they seem too quick, and not like super quick like in like the end of the second Kill Bill, where that's how, a lot of these fights were done, but it's not done in an entertaining way. Matter of fact, the one battle at the end between Yang and his mentor, which, we've seen these kind of battles before, is interrupted by a flashback, and by the end of the flashback, it's over. And there's so much not paid off here. There are some things I do like. It looks beautiful. Every shot of the film in the gray Korean battlefields, the really sandy deserts of America, the decrepit circus in the middle of this whole setup, the sky that when he's training Lin on some hills, just at the night sky is so beautiful as they're doing those sequences. And also it's fairly well acted. Gunn plays a little too stiff, though, I'd have to say. I think he does have... I do wonder if there's maybe a difference in maybe Asian acting techniques versus American acting techniques. Just wondering. He does have moments where he does kind of like feel like he's kind of like coming out of his shell. It's just so jarring because everyone else overplays and he's underplaying. Kate Bosworth's actually pretty good as her the hick cowgirl that befriends him and may be a love interest in something like that. She's much better than she was in Superman Returns, which I thought she was just kind of blah here. She's a very hicky cowgirl, almost to the point where I feel like she's playing a live-action Jessie from Toy Story. Jeffrey Rush is Jeffrey Rush. I mean, you put the camera on him, you got gold. And also the performances from the supporting characters are good. It's just the problem is this film mines from so much other material. I mean, there's stuff you can point out like, oh yeah, that's kind of from Seven Samurai, the bandits beating up on the town. We got the guy taking the baby like in Lone Wolf and Cub, and there's lots of shots that suggest the spaghetti western influences. The problem is it like gets this cool kind of idea of ninjas and cowboys together, and it's done. It doesn't build on anything it sets up. And I think the problem is with the film is it's not a bad film. Its main crime is it reminds us that it could be a better film. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it, based on performances and the look of the film, 2 ram chips. Push the button, Lindsay.